Welcome, welcome, welcome to Streaming Matters. Hey, Aubyns, how are you doing today?
Good, good.
Doing good, and yeah, I was look at there. Trevor called me out on it. Look at, I was a little bit late. I was a few minutes late. We got talking.
Yeah, we got talking.
Man, we got talking and coming up
All
with
for
some,
you
trying to come up with
guys,
some.
you
Yeah,
know?
we're trying to come up. We're brainstorming, and you get four bad ideas before you get a good idea, and so we're just kind of spitballing, and uh, never know what might happen. Hold on. Uh, all right, so I sent you a message there. Uh, Sorry to
Okay.
hear about Next Level wants to come over here. He wants to use my Wi-Fi because a
Aw,
lot of people right now don't have internet in Canada. But we'll get to that in a minute. First, we like to say hi to all the folks that in the side chat, and I usually during the intro I will post. Uh, their comments to kind of help with it. So Steve's hanging with us, a monkey 619. Michael's hanging with us. Cody Man. I think Cody Man had a birthday earlier this week. So if I'm not mistaken, I think I
oh,
saw that
yeah,
on
I
Twitter.
think she did. I think
I
I
think
did see.
yeah. So happy birthday,
Happy
Cody
birthday.
Man. Then Red's hanging with us. Eddie. So Heel, Dub Beach is hanging in the big screen room. Again, the only show that is on YouTube as well as on big screen VR right now. So if you want to slap on your VR equipment, go to big screen. We have the room number right down there below. You can see me in just giganticness. I probably the biggest I'll ever be. So
The only way you'll ever get big.
yeah, that's true. I missed my last two growth spurts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm still waiting on them. Theodore's hanging with us. Nook, how you doing, my dear? And Honeybee's hanging with us. Leon's hanging with us. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's always great to have these people hanging with us live, taking time out of their day to come hang with us. Uh, what Trevor's in there with us. Dennis, thank you for joining us. As I said, Next Level. He's looking to steal some of my Wi-Fi. We've got uh, we've
I
got the
have
Deacon
plenty.
hanging with us.
I have plenty to give away.
Yeah, I know you do.
Plenty
I
of
know you do.
Wi-Fi.
Chuck and C Man. So it's great to see the DJs even down there. I see you got Jim. So it's awesome to see all of our folks hanging with us. Jeremiah hanging, Shinobi's hanging with us, and Roger. So they're all in there hanging with us. So awesome, 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 awesome. The episode, happy birthday to you. Um, I'm not gonna read the one that the beach just posted in there. So so we'll go ahead, and if you've never watched this show before, what we do is we'll try to talk about a lot of tech stuff that impacts us cord cutters or streamers. We will talk about stuff that you're not going to find a lot of other people talking about. Alban and myself look through the week trying to find topics that might interest us, that may interest you, that may impact your wallet, the quality of your streaming, some options that you might have, some tech that's coming out. So we jump around the things that are important to us and that draw our attention. And we're hoping that some of this information will hit you now. And we hit a lot of topics on this show. We will cover a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
stuff. Funster B hanging with us. Think it's nice to see him. So we'll start with the first topic, which is
Before you do
oh
that, just
yeah, bud.
check and see the thing I sent you,
What did you send me? What did you send me? Yeah.
just so you
Okay.
know.
Cool.
That's from
Cool
our
enough.
friend.
Cool
Okay.
enough. Cool enough.
All
Cool
right.
enough.
Okay.
Um, so
Yeah.
we got that, and I'll go ahead and let's start with the thing that uh, Next Level brought up. In most of the people, or a lot of people in, I guess Ontario, I think is the most populated province in Canada, if I'm not mistaken, on my stuff I had to learn to come to Canada. But so if you're in Canada and you're in Ontario, you may be experiencing some issues. Rogers being, I believe, the number one or number two internet and wireless provider has been having massive issues all day. And I'm getting an echo from you, Alban. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
Okay. Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Turn it down just a little.
Good.
Maybe on your headset, turn it down just a
Oh,
little bit, but I'm not sure. So on this screen here, we see the map with it has a massive internet outages, And you can see from this map here, let's see if it, oh, no, that wasn't what I wanted.
Nope.
I did not want that map,
There you
but
go.
I guess you can see this. Let me raise it this way. So we can,
No, it's still gonna open it.
there it
That's
goes.
where it's coming from. Yeah.
Okay, so large concentration in the southern part of the country, as well
Mm.
as over here in the BC area, which is Vancouver, and out on the East Coast. So a lot of outages in Canada for internet and wireless. So if you're a Rogers user, you're having issues as well. As you can see, we're not a Rogers internet home, so we didn't really have any issues today. We've been watching TV all day long. Now I have not gone anywhere. I am a
Mhm.
Verizon user, and Verizon piggybacks off of Rogers when I'm in Canada. So I'm able to use my telephone and data in Canada via Verizon. So I haven't went anywhere today, so I didn't really have any issues with my phone. But I'm sure if I went out, I probably wouldn't have had any data. So for the folks that are in that,
Thir
be careful. Yeah,
13,000,000 people? Oh,
13.
jeez.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, I feel
Yeah,
so sorry for you guys.
like I said, that's a lot of people. I know that I've seen a lot of messages today about people that are upset about the outages, um, and so I wanted to. I thought this put into a good. It was a good segue into down detector. A lot of times, people will blame um, they'll blame and I want to say like I'll just
Everyone
use
else.
Debrid, or they'll
Yeah.
they're if they have a subscription to a live TV service or something, and they'll blame that service. Oh, that's I'm getting a lot of buffering. But there's sometimes it may be your internet provider that is causing you some problems. So this down detector, I put a lot of the links that we've shown the show, I put them down below. So if you want to open them later on, you're more than welcome to see where we got the information, and you're able to look and read the full articles and not just get what Reader's Digest version that I kind of shrink it down. But this website is really good. Down Detector, it's real good for giving you ideas or give you information that if there's some outages or some issues, it can help you to see if other people are having that same problem, especially if it's in your area. So
And
Down Detector, yeah, go ahead.
and most important, load it on your phone also,
Good
because
idea.
most of the time, you have it in your browser on your PC, and something goes down or you don't have it with you. Using your phone, using the app on your phone is great. It comes in really handy. Because you could just keep checking all the time,
Hmm.
and know, you know, having the app there works well for me.
Yeah, you're it's good. That's a good suggestion. And I do, again, you can use this app. Let me just do up a little Rogers just for
Giggle's sake.
well, it's probably maybe it's Roger, not Rogers.
Roger. Okay.
No, I'm typing that in wrong.
Got to put a at the end of it.
Ah,
Rogers,
shut
eh?
up. Eh. Yeah, I thought it was Rogers, but maybe
Rogers. Rogers. R O
maybe it's with a. What am I doing
Roger.
wrong? Oh,
No,
maybe I need to. I probably need to go. All right.
Canada.
So I put .com in there because I'm
Oh no,
American
that's
and I'm
yeah.
used to doing .com. So
Mhm.
if you want, and I should have read it instead of flashing past it. If you want the Canadian version of this, it will be downdetector.ca. So if I go to this, as you can see, we have
Rogers
all
is
of
the first one.
the you've got the
Major.
Canadian. These are the Canadian things that would be impacted. So like my internet's Cogeco. I don't have any issues right now, but lots of these are really good things to have, and probably a lot of things since Rogers is having issues, you're probably going to see that carry over into other because if a big company has Rogers as their internet provider, let's just say RBC. If RBC is their internet provider is Rogers, then yes, you would have issues with your banking because Rogers is down. So this is a great website to bookmark it. And as Albin said, I would suggest to put this on your phone. Here at
And,
the
and
top
then
here, yep.
And another thing, a lot of times it allows you with certain sites, it allows you to like make claim of what's down or whatever. Because I know, like, with my power company, if the power went out, I use
Mhm.
down detector. I click on it, and it allows me to open up a ticket, and it
Okay.
which is just comes in real handy.
So
Because you're
you're
on
able
your
to be
phone,
part of that
right?
community reporting
Um,
system. You're able to
right,
report it that
right,
it's an outage.
right.
So yeah, and I see here right at the top reports indicate there may be a
Yeah.
widespread outage at Rodgers. And this
Hmm.
has been since this morning. This hasn't
Yeah.
been like, oh, just a couple hours. This has been since early this morning, if
Oh
not late
man.
last night, that I started seeing Twitter reports about it. But yeah, this,
Also, so people know, a lot of uh, different IPTV services have been saying also that if you're trying to watch some of the stuff in Canada, you're not going to get it because
there,
of
good
this
point.
outage.
Good,
So always
very
keep
good
that in
point.
mind. Don't sit there and start screaming at your IPTV service saying, "Oh, well, they're
Yes.
in the UK or they're in the Netherlands or
Yes.
wherever, and I'm not getting my stuff."
Yep.
It's not their fault. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
the
That's the,
Canadians, okay?
yeah. Yeah.
It's the
It's good
Canadians
today. Um,
today.
But but yeah, you can definitely see. There's a good point about that. If you have some of those services, if it is Canadian based or they're getting their channels from a Canadian source, you're
Yeah.
right that it could very well take out that particular segment of your live service, your live streaming service. So but,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely one to, check out and you people can comment down here. So, yeah, and let's see, it had, Canada, let's see, Argentina, Australia, uh, Bel Belgrade,
Belgrade.
uh, Belgrade,
Yeah.
Belgrade, Chile, Denmark. It's got a bunch of countries, so you can put in your country and if if you want to know about some outages in your area. So just a good one to keep up. I'm not sure anybody on the side chat say that they've been out of internet.
Yeah, yeah, a
Uh,
couple people, hold on, let me go
yeah,
get up there to it. Um,
yeah, I was looking. I go back and I start seeing the people not giving me shit, but that's all right. Eddie, look at Quebec too. And hey, there's any of us that know the inside joke. Eddie's internet is so slow, anyways. I don't even. How does he even know? He got like
how
10
does he
megs down,
notice it?
15
How does
megs
he
down.
notice it?
A carrier pigeon could bring his internet to him quicker.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Um,
Eddie does have Jesus's beeper number, so.
Ah, all right. So yeah. So if you're looking at some issues with Rogers, or like on Albin says, this may carry over to other services you have if those services happen to be using Rogers in some ways. So, um,
Mhm,
so yeah. So again, this is a good. I thought it was once this was a good topic to bring up because down detector is a really good way of narrowing the problem to find out if it's you, if it's your area, or if it's your providers that may be giving you some problems. So I wanted this segment of the show. I was going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the K word. Try not to
mhm.
use the word, but show you the
Oh,
background
okay.
on that. So
Oh, so I can't even put up my ticker then, huh?
well, don't worry about the ticker.
Okay,
No, don't worry about the ticker.
okay.
So we'll couple minutes. I'm just going to talk a couple minutes about a few things that because this is a hobby that is near and dear to my heart. Any of you guys that know me know that this is a passion of mine. This particular topic, and but I can't make videos on them now. I have to be so careful. And Next Level can tell you, he can attest to that. We have to be so careful about the videos we make. So I'm going to go ahead and go through a few of the things that happened in the last couple weeks that I thought were highlights that you might want to know about. And okay, and I was looking. All right. So one of the first things that came up last week, Resolve URL, which is for the tech nerds, it's going to be the SMR, which is Script Module Resolver. So the Resolve URL or um, the thing, the script inside the keyword that takes you from the add-on to the actual site. So you have the add-on does its work, and then it'll scrape the websites. Okay, so those are two separate things. They got the add-on scrapes if you're using that, and then once the add-on has the link of where it needs to go, script module resolver, the resolver takes you to its final location to actually pull the content. So in the last couple weeks, there's been some issues on and off, and it's been reported there were some updates that Gajal put out, and at first everything seemed to be going well. Then another problem cropped up, so he pushed an update last week, and it seems that it's worked out all of the bugs. I haven't seen any complaints this past week of Resolver not working. If you've troubleshooted your resolver, sometimes you might have to reauthorize your Debrid or your premiumized services. So if you're having issues with resolver, go in and um, unauthorize it, and reauthorize it, and that usually will clear up the problem. Um, Most of the time, 99% or 99.5% of the time with people, your resolver is going to update automatically. You never have to worry about updating. It's going to be updated automatically. But that was fixed last week. Major shout out, and I did it on Twitter saying thanks to Gajal because
He's the man.
I don't even know if it's a man. It might be a woman.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. So, but the importance of the SMR is it can't be explained because even people that doing direct links like one-click add-ons, that script module resolver is needed a lot of the time to get the final link. It is that bridge to the last step. And if you didn't have that, it would really make things difficult. And this person uh, does not get paid, doesn't, there's no paycheck in this, there's no
Hmm.
fund, there's no GoFundMe for this person. So major shout out to this person, she, for keeping the SMR updated and keeping it working well. Because without that, I know Jay Sergio did it prior. If we didn't have that, it would be very rough on all of us. It just makes things so nice. So there was a fix last week, and everything seems to be going well. And I wanted to talk about one of the other things, which Exodus or Exodus or Covenant forks were all the rage. That was the thing, that was the baby, that there was more forks of Exodus than anything else out there. It seemed like everybody had a fork of Exodus out. Well, that has changed. It seems to me, and this is in my opinion, as I see add-ons popping up, Finn is the forker's choice right now. And I was looking through. I made a small list of some that I know, that I've seen that are forks of Finn. And since it's got shut down, what, 2 months ago, Auburn?
Yeah,
About
yeah.
two and a
About
half.
yeah, 2.5 maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
Um,
covered it here on the show.
Yeah, yeah, we talked about it on the show when it got when that and Venom got shut down, um, and Oath at the same time. They were all shut down, but so it's been maybe 3 months. So right now there's Ezra and Wutu and it was Ezra, and then I saw that Ezra also has Wutu in it. I have not tried Wutu, WUTU.
You.
Uh, I've not tried it. I actually saw it on their repository. Then there's Buds, there's Taz19, Kingpin, which came out, but I saw reports on Reddit that he may not be continuing to move that forward. Umbrella just popped up last week. POV jumped in. POV, I think one of the things I read with POV, I believe uh, that my accounts is embedded back in the add-on. For folks that use Fen, they know that my accounts was where you put in your Debrid, your premiumized, your tracked, your easy news, your FERC, all of those other extra accounts. My accounts was a separate thing, which was a very neat way of doing it, and it just didn't catch on. It would have been great if a lot of add-ons would have plugged into that, so you'd have had my accounts, and then you could plug in your Debrid and all your information, your tracked, and all that into that one thing, and
Mhm.
then no matter what add-on you had, it could grab the APIs and the credentials from my accounts. but not a lot of add-ons jumped into that. Just a handful, like I'd say, like 3 major ones. Um, but I think POV kind of roll that back, and so all of those things are inside the add-on itself. It's not using that my accounts.
Mhm.
So again, that's it. If you've not used Fen, I was never a major fan of Fen, and what add-on you use is it's all
Up to you.
objective.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what you like, what you don't like. But I'll be honest that the more that I did some tests with Buds and Tez, I was doing some testing with them and playing around with it, and I found it. I was like, wow, I'm starting to like some of these features in here, and it's blazing fast. It's. I mean, Shadow was incredibly quick add-on. Used to be the fastest one. I don't know what Fen did in their coding, but they had done a great job. So if you're looking for some of those Fen forks, those are some. Check them out. I think that a lot of them are some really nice work. I don't know how many of them will be out long term, like how many of
Right.
them are going to have longevity, uh,
Mhm.
because it's fun to make an add-on. And I can say this, firsthand. It's fun to make an add-on. Make an add-on. You're coming up with art, and you're coming up with a design and a layout. Oh, I want to have this section, that section. Oh, it's fun, fun, fun. Once you create it, and then you update it the next week, that's pretty good. And then the following week you update it and you're like, well, that wasn't as fun. And then the third or fourth week and you're like, I got to update. All right, I really don't want to update. And you lose that you lose that
Mhm.
loving feeling and that excitement.
Yep.
So you're going to see I'll say a lot of these fade out and go away. So, find the one that you like. Follow a lot of them on Reddit. You can post questions in my Streaming Matters, and if I know if they have a Telegram group, I will point you to that direction. Or some of the people in my group will do our best to point you to where you can stay on top of things. Reddit or Discord are tending to be the bigger
Yeah.
places to get that information. But definitely, if you've not checked out some of these forks, check them out. Uh, they run really well. I put in the one I have, I've got my Debrid, real Debrid, my premiumized. I put Easy News in it. I put my tracked, and then someone sent me a link for 30 days for Debrid dash link. I put that in there.
Mhm.
So when that scrapes, I mean, like in less than 10 seconds, there's all of my links and I can pick which one I want. And it gives me, and I like the colors. They have it done very nicely so that each of them stands out. And one of the other things that it does, and I don't think I've seen Shadow or any of the other add-ons do it. So when you have RD you'll have some torrents that are in your cloud thing. Because if you go to your Debrid history, you'll see it in there. So there was a movie I watched like a month ago.
Mhm.
So and I did a search for it on today with using Ezra. I was messing around with it, just testing it, and I searched for this movie, and that was the first thing that popped up right away. It like came up instantly. It says, "This is in your RD cloud. Do you want to use it?" Gives me the
Oh, okay.
exact, you know, um,
Mhm.
$4K,
Link.
da 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 da,
Yeah.
and it says, "Do you want to use it in your cloud, or do you want to do a full scrape?" And I'm like, wow, okay. And I mean, it was like instantly.
Mm.
I'm like, no, I'll do a
Wow.
full scrape. It did the full scrape within 10 seconds or so. There, my cloud one is at the top, and then there's all the ones that it scraped for.
Mhm.
Neat feature.
That
Again,
is. That is.
a neat feature. It's not, it's not going to, change the world, but it's kind of a neat that if you have things in your cloud, boom, it instantly pulls it up and it's right there. So, um, I want to, and so check that if you're wanting to look into some of those replacements for Fen. I know that last week or week before we were talking about Crew and their IPTV. Their IPTV section was taken down, and I know that they were working to replace it. I have not looked this week if they replaced it, but if you've you can't, they had to remove their IPTV section. I know that their sports section has had some issues where people are posting and complaining. Um, but when I check some links, they work just fine. So
Mhm.
go to their now they do have a Telegram group, and I would suggest that if you have problems with some of that stuff, you can go there and ask the questions. Uh, Number one, be polite. Number two, these people are not getting paid to create this add-on, to create your live links. If they have live links, they have zero control if that link buffers or goes down or gets removed. They have no control over that. I have seen over the last week where some end users are being a little rude in how they
Mhm.
approach about some of those IPTV being down or some of the sports links not working. And to me, that's going overboard. That's
Yeah.
being a bit rude, and because they're doing this for free. And if some of this if free IPTV is decent at best, I mean,
Mhm.
if you want reliable IPTV, Auburn, what are you going to do if you want reliable IPTV?
I pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I pay for my IPTV service
Yeah,
and
yeah,
be
yeah,
happy with it, because
yep,
for what you're paying for it,
yeah, yep,
you can't beat it. You know what I mean? Sure, it could go down at any time,
yeah.
but
It
the
could,
price
it
that you're
could.
getting it to be able to
Yep,
get VOD,
yeah,
you
yeah,
just can't beat it. I'm sorry.
yeah. And
Mm.
free IPT free links are at the discretion of wherever the hoster is, number one.
Mhm.
Number two, the traffic and the popularity of that particular at that time, or that sporting event, or that TV show, or that. So if something is really popular on a server, it becomes overwhelmed
Mhm.
because it can't handle the traffic.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to go to some of these groups, and I tell people all the time, eh, first and foremost, read what they usually have rules. Read the rules. Number one. Number two, talk with being polite. Um, don't be demanding because you're not paying any of these people for a service. If you
Right.
installed an add-on, you installed an add-on. They owe you zero.
Mhm.
Um, so be polite. Again, I'm seeing more and
You
more
know?
people being demanding.
And I hate to see what's gonna happen, like, this weekend, with people in Canada that can't get to their stuff and not realizing what's going on, and they're
Yeah,
gonna be hitting their hammer on these guys. All they're gonna do is piss them off, and they're gonna say, "You know what? I don't need to do this no more."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and
don't be that guy,
I've
really.
seen some guys that run services. If they deal with you too much, they're like, you know what? I don't need to deal with
No,
you.
right,
Boot you, boot you, you're gone. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't cut your nose off to spite your face. So those were kind of the bigger topics. I'm not going to go into all the I've seen plenty of builds being updated.
right.
Um, but that's not really big issues. But I have seen a few oath. I know Homelander was an oath fork. Promise, I know I still heard about Promise. I have not used Promise. I don't know how well it's running because I actually plugged in my keys for Tracked and TMDB, and my oath kept working.
Mhm.
So Homelander though is an oath fork that you may want to check out if you're looking for if you liked oath and you're wanting and I believe I read that Homelander also repaired some scrapers and they did something else and I can't remember. I read that like about 3 weeks back. But
Okay,
if you're looking for
yeah,
an oath replacement, Homelander, that's in the crew repository.
right.
And did
Uh,
anybody have anything before I move on?
yeah, just check the stars.
Up. Let me get over here. The stars.
Just, you don't have to read them out, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
take a
yeah.
look.
Okay, Trevor, thank you. So that's back up. So awesome, awesome. Glad to hear it. And so yep, so their links are back. I'm gonna no, I'm not gonna. All right, so I'll get rid of some of these other ones.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. These oh my lordy. All right. Um get rid of that. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll run to our next topic, big boy.
Okay.
All right. I was going to talk about torrent. We'll go to torrent freak items. And this kind of covers, we talk about this kind of stuff. And Alba and I talked about it before the show. I'm not going to go through every one of these shutdowns. I'm not going to make a video every time some big shutdown happens because it happens 3 or 4 times a week. I'm not looking to make videos about, hey, this service got shut down and and that's just a waste of time. So, um, go to Torrent Freak. Torrent Freak, he keeps his ear to the ground and reads uh, court papers and what's been filed. I don't know where he's getting this shit, but the mug stays on top of things.
Right.
Again, if you're in Italy, in Italy, Italy is one of the toughest places for IPTV. So going after
Well, how
more
about
IPTV stuff.
UK is pretty hard too, isn't
Yeah,
it?
they're hard,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're as bad as Italy. Italy is, I mean, got to be the going after the most. I would, yeah, UK would probably be number two,
Yeah.
but you're always seeing these
Yeah,
Italian
the
IPTVs going down. So
mhm.
some more IPTV went down. Um, there was let's see, what else was there a big item this week?
Um,
Um, there's some more talk about this. Some of these they're trying to rewrite because there was a the media
they
companies the media companies want to be able to have the power to remove websites or URLs or things off the internet at their discretion if they feel like um, if it impedes or if it affects something that they have copyright on. Cloudflare, Google, and some other big media, some of the internet providers or the things that can kind of help in the internet are pushing back a little bit because they feel like some of these media companies have too much control to be able to
mhm.
demand that
Yeah.
ISPs take off block this website without even a court or nothing, just by their good word. So you're seeing Cloudflare leading these pushback, and Google is also in on this too to say we need more rules about what can be taken down and blocked by an ISP or by Cloudflare or something like that. So you're seeing some of the courts starting to say, okay, yeah, because we can't just have media companies send a list. I know that there was a court order or a judgment last month or the month before that uh, some media companies could send a letter. I think it was during the NHL playoffs,
Mhm.
and they would be able to get instant blocking of certain URLs. So
Mhm.
they could send a letter or an email out to all the ISPs in the country and say, "We want you to block ABC, ABC123.com. Block it
Right.
right now because we feel like they're infringing on our content." And that
That's
the
ridiculous.
ISPs would have to obey that because it was a court order. But now there's some pushback by the ISP saying, wait a minute. So you're just going to send us a list and you can do this at any point. How broad does this get? How can this get out? This could get out of control in giving all the power to somebody at some office, and what oversight do we have? So you're
Mhm.
starting to see some pushback on what can be blocked and things being blocked in an instant can't happen, or well there's more pushback that they're trying to stop that from happening. um, I know that there was some stuff about two people pled guilty, wasn't it for mega? I think I'd seen.
For Mega, yeah.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, it was for Mega.
Yep. So it was mega. There was two people that pled guilty. That happened earlier in the week. Here's that article that I had read where it's Cloudflare and media companies agreed to modify the power grab of this piracy injunction. And this was the law that was basically going to be able to say,
Mhm.
if we send you a
Yep.
list, you got to block it.
Shut it down. Yep.
Yeah, you got to shut down. And they're like, wait, well, you just,
Mhm.
where's the oversight on that? Here's another article about more IPTV operators blocked. When people ask the questions, well, if am I going to need when they go after these things, it's always proven to be the operators of it. or the resellers, and mostly just the operators. I haven't really seen anything that they said they've gone after end users.
Mhm.
So, when people say, "Well, I'll get," just know that there isn't really been much precedent that they're going after end users. It's always after the operator, take down the operator, and that takes out your tens of thousands of users. Um, Here was another thing. Uh, Piracy domains seized by the U.S. because of Verizon and GoDaddy's. So more sites being taken down. So lots of things. If you're wanting to follow Torrent Freak, I follow them on Twitter, and I actually they have a Telegram message board. Uh,
Mhm.
Definitely one that to read if you're into that and knowing kind of what's happening on the background, because you're going to see it and you read it on Torrent Freak, and the next day or the day after is when you're going to start seeing all these videos
Mhm.
that YouTubers tend to push videos on it to oh, be careful, watch out for this. Just read it yourself, and you don't have to. You'll know right away. Any other comments on that before I move on to?
Uh, Not really. I was trying to
No,
look at
okay.
some of them. I know someone had something to say here. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
So let me
see.
go jump over here. We'll go to Netflix because I know that's one of your favorite
Okay.
topics.
Oh yeah, of
So,
course.
today is my apple cider cranberry. I think I drank this a couple shows back. Very good. It's nice and tart,
Oh yeah, yeah. You
not
had
too
that one.
sweet. Uh,
Uh-huh.
nice cider. I think it's a 6% or something like that. So it's nice, especially if you're outside. It's an enjoyable drink. Thornberry. So if you're up in Canada, you'll be able to get it. Netflix looking to
Live
expand
stream.
into live streaming, and this is a neat article. And this was actually an article from about a month and a half ago. But so you're going to see Netflix dipping their toe into these live streamings.
Mhm.
They had a comedy show that they did that was live.
Doing a bunch of them actually. They're like doing this whole what is it? Netflix is a joke
Yep,
thing there,
yep.
and they got so many different comics
Yeah, it said 130.
yeah. Yeah, so all these comics are doing this Netflix as a joke thing. Listen, I told you guys about with Netflix, he was the original, and he's fighting. He's gonna fight. So he's gonna
Hmm.
do whatever he has to
Yep.
control again.
Yeah, they got the largest market share, and they're going to continue to. They want to keep that largest market share. One of the things that I think this is a great idea with Netflix, with their live stuff, and it had in here where you're going to be able to vote.
Hmm.
So let's say you're doing the Dancing with the Stars. Now that's not on Netflix, but let's just say for argument's sake.
Hmm.
So let's say that Dancing with the Stars was on Netflix Live. They're
Hmm.
trying to make it to where you could actually vote while you're watching the show via your your device, and you'd be able to vote right from there. Kind of almost like, what was that? Remember that TV show that they had where you could pick, do you do you open the door or do you go outside? Do you remember that one?
TV show. It was a TV show that did
It was a
that.
TV show
It
that
sounds
Netflix did.
familiar that
It was
Netflix did.
not Bamboozled. It was Boomerang, or it was some kind of weird name.
Boomerang was a network, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, but it was a weird
Uh,
name. But what the thing was is that you could choose, the next thing. Do you pick up a
uh-huh.
knife and stab the person or whatever? Someone
Right, right.
someone will post it over here on the side chat. I'm
Mhm,
sure someone
mhm.
remember what that. And it was a weird name. But this is where Netflix has that ability to
Yeah.
almost instantly get information back from the end users, because number
Mhm,
one, they have the humongous infrastructure of servers, and the network that they have is unmatched out there. So
mhm.
they're going to be able to get that data and that back. And so think about if they were doing a live show where people could vote, and you're watching the show live on Netflix and be able to vote. That's a
Bandersnatch?
great. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
Bandersnatch.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Need someone to
Thanks,
remember that.
Roger.
Yeah, thank you, Roger. Yeah, that was the one where you could choose. the path of your character in that TV show. Another great idea. It reminded me of those books. Remember those books back in the 70s, or maybe it was the early 80s, where you could read a book and then you would say,
You have
"Oh,
to
what do you
say
want to
this or
do?"
that. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it would say, "Go to page 16," and you'd flip to
Mhm.
page 16. Okay, and then read it, and then it's like, "Okay, do this
Yeah.
or this," and it'd be two different pages depending on what your choice was.
Right.
So Netflix is looking to do this, and again, great idea. They have the ability to do it. Not a lot of other companies have the infrastructure and the equipment to do this. So that is one of the things. And as Auburn was talking about, Netflix losing last quarter, losing record number of losing subscribers. And I didn't think about this. So Disney Plus managed to add 7.9 million users last. Um, uh, so the first quarter of 2022, the first quarter, Disney added 7.9 while um, Netflix
Netflix
lost.
lost. Right.
So that's
Right.
what
Because
Netflix is
everyone
looking at
jumped
those
over
numbers.
there. They
Yeah.
because people said, "Oh well, the kids want to be able to watch their stuff and all the Marvel stuff."
Yeah. And more
Plain and simple.
content is moving to Disney. I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
content that Disney is so it's good. And so we're still waiting on the crackdown for passwords. Don't freak out
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah.
It will happen, but it's not a big deal. Um, and then again with the ad supported streaming option, which again still being beta tested in Central America. No word on when that's going to come to the big countries. So don't get yourself all in a bundle. If you're using a relative's password and all, you may be wanting to make some plans. Are you willing to pay to continue to do that, or are you going to want to go another option? So
Yeah. If
just
they're gonna
something.
want if they're gonna want to have their own vote,
Well, yeah, that's true. I wonder how that would work. That would.
it's
Well,
gonna only take
just
one.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that would work if you were doing the voting thing. But again, that's something that's coming down the road.
Yeah.
Another big topic that Auburn found this, and we've been fans of Starlink, and actually Starlink is up here in Canada. I've got to go to. I know someone that has a Starlink here, and I need to go to his house, and I want to see what kind of internet speed he's getting
Mhm.
for myself. Because
But
his
this,
internet speed
yeah,
was stupid slow
stupid.
prior.
Okay.
I mean, it was
Prior.
like it was not even Eddie speed when he was
Wow.
where he was living.
Wow.
He couldn't stream nothing, and then he got Starlink, and supposedly good, but I need to go to his place and check it out. So, the FCC approves Starlink being used in moving cars, and again, one of the reasons why you're like, well, yeah, whatever about that. Well, the problem is that Starlink has to be given permission to operate in a certain area. Okay, so they and so when you allow somebody to do it in a moving car, then their car is not just in Los Angeles, California, or
Mhm.
in Arizona, Las Vegas. It's not in that one spot where you would say, okay, that's impacting these providers. When they're able to move, you have to be the Starlink had to have the permission to be able to be in to that person to be able to go to multiple locations. Starlink on Remember on people were having a thing that had motorhomes. Some
Mhm.
people had motorhomes, and so
Yeah.
they had Starlink on their motorhome, and then they would have to change their location because Starlink locks you into your location. Okay, so
Mhm.
you're at 1122 Boogie Boogie Avenue in
Right.
whatever town. It's locked you into that location. You can't
Mhm.
pick up your Starlink satellite and take it to the next town and set it down and expect to
Right.
get it. It's
Right.
locked into that geolocation. But Starlink is being given
Good.
more permission to that those aren't locks anymore. You're going to be able to move freely with it. So with the FCC giving Starlink some of that, the ability to move, I think that's an important thing to giving them more power, but also giving us as an end user more choices because uh, nothing's worse than I'm gonna use Eddie for example because we'll keep knocking
Yeah.
on Eddie because we know he's
I
got
know,
bad internet.
right?
But I've
Yeah.
had bad internet when I lived in North Carolina. I had friends that couldn't stream that lived
Mhm.
a little bit too far out of town.
Yeah.
So you're too far out of town, and guess what? Cable company don't go there. So then
Mhm.
you're like, well, I can get DSL. Well, I'm real far from the hub, so my
Mhm.
DSL is crap too.
Yeah.
Um, so you're basically got them. They'll get like the satellite internet, which satellite internet is total
Mhm.
garbage. I mean,
Yeah.
it's downloads fair,
Mhm.
upload sucks. It's
It
basically
sucks.
dial up.
Yep.
So
You see
people
that
have.
from OTA, right?
I didn't. I didn't know.
5,000 a month for Starlink on a boat.
Yeah, yep, yep. I saw that. I
That's
read
just
that. Yeah, I read that art. I read that it's going to happen. And again, this is new stuff though,
Mhm.
so it's there's going to be that growing pains. Always the people that are going to pay the most, the pioneers.
Yeah.
Price will come down. But I've always I got to definitely check out Starlink at the neighbors, the
Your
buddies up
friends.
the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
But it is, again, giving the end user some options. Starlink also was given, and I didn't put this in the show thing, but did you see where Amazon was going after them to block some of Starlink's? Starlink, they were saying that Starlink was not going to be able to operate as many satellites in low orbit that they had. They said, well, they
Yeah.
can only have a certain amount because they're going to own too much of the market share because they're first to get there. Now,
Okay.
Amazon is
Now
on their way
now
catching up. Yep.
Rodgers' kids have got it. If you read this one here.
Oh, hold on. What's he say?
Yeah.
What's he say?
My kids have
Your kids,
Starlink.
Starlink.
Mhm. They can mount the antenna to their
Okay,
RV,
that's good.
and
That's
then
good.
yeah,
That's good. So yeah, so that's, I mean, again, that's a great thing to have, and you'll be able to move from one location to another.
$30 a month, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it goes up $30. Now the service is about $100, so it costs you 130 to be able to move around.
They have
So,
ability to log in from any address.
yeah,
So, that's
yeah,
pretty
for
neat,
30 bucks
yeah.
they'd be able to
For
to
30
to go
bucks, yeah.
anywhere.
That's
So,
great.
yeah, in it, but I think it was Amazon that was going after him, trying to stop that
Mhm.
them turning on all the satellites that Starlink had, because they said they're gonna outpower or get too ahead of a start. They're gonna be able to monopolize and dominate the market. But
Wow.
I don't think Amazon was granted that, if my memory is correct
Uh-huh.
on that. But
Well, I'm shocked that, Amazon would say that because, now
mhm.
no one can log in to order more crap.
Well, no, but Amazon's doing what, they're the SpaceX, ain't it
Yeah,
SpaceX that
yeah.
Ain't that what? No, SpaceX
That's
satellites
no,
is the
that's,
Starlink.
that's,
What's the one that Amazon has? Because Amazon's
uh,
got their own. Because remember, they got
uh,
their low orbit that they're trying to, but they're
yeah.
behind. They're behind Starlink. So Starlink got out there first. So of course Amazon's like, wait, 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 you got a head start on us. Let us catch up. And basically what they're saying in layman's terms. Yeah, that's gonna happen. So I was gonna move on to, we're gonna just
Yeah.
one little topic on uh our Oculus stuff, for us
Okay.
nerds that have an Oculus.
Okay.
Side load in the Quest games is almost as easy as using the official store. And this is so true with side load. You can use the side load, Quest side load, and you can actually install games in there. There's a lot of independent games in there, and a lot of free games or a lot of demos, and you're able to install them, as well as a different interface of changing settings. It's a very easy tool. They also have the ability now to use your PC and install games on your Oculus device through your PC without it going, not having to have your Oculus on and send it, which is funny because some of us that tend to do a little bit on the FFA
Yeah.
been doing that, where we're able to install an EXE onto our Quest, and being able to install that way. So that's happening more and more, in because it's an Android based. The Oculus is Android based, so that opens up the doors to being able to do a lot of stuff. With Facebook, really doesn't have a lot of lockdowns on it.
Mhm.
In this week, you don't even have to have a Facebook account now. Did you see that
Right.
album that they
I
you can
yeah, I
actually
heard.
you
Yeah.
can you don't need a Facebook account anymore, just an email address and set it up, which
Mhm.
I think is a great idea. Uh, that so that people aren't forced to have a Facebook if they don't
Yeah,
want one.
I know, like me.
Yeah, like you, because you fought that, and
Yeah,
we ended up
I should have
pushing you.
waited a little bit longer.
You don't ain't like you use your Facebook to give a bunch of information anyways. It's
I don't
you
even
use your
use it at
Facebook, you
all.
have the account, you set up the account, and then
Not
it's
even
just so
me.
you can so you can log into your Oculus. So if you're a person that has an Oculus, SideQuest is definitely an item that you're going to want to check out and have. Most people that have an Oculus, that's one of the first things you want to install. It is just, it's a really good thing. It's free. Um, a lot of independent games. If you're a Doom person, Doom 3, you can actually install it for free. Play Doom 3
Yeah.
through your Oculus. Quake 3 is on there.
Mhm.
A lot of games and they're free. You can play them, and they're the old version. They've been ported over. So for you guys that are into Oculus, definitely check out the side quest.
SideQuest.
Side quest. Um, other topic I was going to bring up here on HBO, and I think that
Mhm.
HBO in less than a year, 30% of their users are using the ad supported HBO
Yeah.
Max. And we've talked about the Netflix ad
Mhm.
supported thing that's coming.
Yeah.
And we've had the discussion, is this going to hurt is this going to hurt Netflix? Is it going to help Netflix? Are people going to get pissed off? Whatever. And I said, no, this is Netflix going and offering, and not that everybody's going to get an ad based service, but they're going to offer it as a cheaper alternative. It's going to be just a win win. The person that can't afford Netflix is
Now
going to be
gets
able
it.
to get that cheaper price and to just have to deal with the ads. HBO is showing you 30% of their subscribers are using the ad supported. So that's a huge number. And you don't, Netflix is definitely looking at this and saying 30%. I mean,
Mhm.
how many of those 30% wouldn't have paid for HBO Max
Right.
that said, well, I couldn't afford it, but since it's only um, 9.99, yeah, I can do that.
Mhm.
So, so yeah, that's I think it's a thing that's going to the future. I think more and more companies. I think what's it? Paramount Plus has it, and
Yeah.
Disney doesn't have it yet, but you can. They
They
will.
will. They
They
will.
will. They'll come up with it. And again, especially we're in this time where a lot of people are really scrambling with their money. People are really having to look at their budget.
Mhm.
And if you can, if you have 4 services and you can go to an ad based and basically save yourself 20 bucks between all of them, add if you add them all up together. That's a savings, that's a maybe that's a decision to keeping all the services or having to cut one or two of them.
Mhm.
So, 30% I think is a high number. I would have never thought 30%, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it makes
It's
makes
up there.
sense. Yeah,
Mhm.
and you and I've told you all the time, we're snobs on commercials.
Yeah.
We
I
w w
listen to me. For 20 bucks, I don't think I'd want to see ads. Really.
Yeah,
I'm so far away from ads. You know, to me, 20 bucks is worth not seeing them.
right, and yeah, you would, but if you were a person that had a young family, you got 2 young kids,
I
you're
don't
paying
even
for
want
all the
hear. I don't want
yeah,
to hear an ad. I'd rip the
yeah,
whole thing
but
out of the house to not hear an
well,
ad.
yeah, you
Okay.
would, but I think
Yeah.
a lot of
But I don't have to
customers
worry
would.
about that. You know why?
Well, yeah.
Because I got Plex. Okay. So
Thank you.
drink up, everyone. There are no ads in my house.
Alright.
Okay.
So yeah, 30%. So again, this does lean towards why Netflix is saying, "Hey, we'll go with that too. We'll try it. We'll try it." Again, it doesn't change if you have that non-added support, you'll still pay that.
Mhm.
S surprise, surprise, surprise. Verizon is
Right.
telling you that more price hikes.
Mhm.
I guess I haven't gotten the email. I'll have to keep an eye out. I have not seen my
Yeah.
email because I have Verizon. Um, they're going up in prices.
Mhm.
And it goes back to, um, let's see, operating revenues were up 4.1% over 2020. So last year, so
Mhm.
2021, they were up 4%, and topping off a 133 billion.
Mhm.
But we still got to go up in the. And it's corporate greed.
Yep.
I'm sorry, the corporate greed right now is going
It's
is
insane.
is rampant. Um, because it's never enough. You
Yep.
got to match the money we made. We got to, so if you're a Verizon company customer, expect some prices going up. Especially if you're a multi-line phone, if you have a lot of and you're sharing data and that kind of stuff. I think I saw on there it says something about $12 a month that it may go up. So yeah, so you keep an eye out if you're looking. You're going to see. Uh, what did it say? Administrative fee is going to go from
Yeah.
$1.35 to 3.30. So just putting it out
You know
there.
what that admin fee is, right?
It's just that's corporate money. That's going to the
Right into that pocket.
shareholders, and
Yep.
yeah, it goes to the high ups, the CEO, and all that.
Mm.
He needs more money. We need more money at the
Yep.
top because it's
Yep.
going to trickle down like pee.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's
Um,
gonna trickle down.
so yeah, Verizon's going up on your bills. So just be aware. So that's why you got to pay. Hey, Auburn, that's why people are going to have to pay for ad supported um, on
Well,
Netflix because Verizon just went up. So you got to save that money somewhere.
mm,
Um, for some of you guys that like to do some photo managing and to do this is an editor also, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken, does all
Yes,
kinds of
editor.
editing.
Yep.
This DigiKam, which it's complete, it's free, and if you're looking and you don't have Photoshop or some of these other high end, because some photo editing software, a lot of them is crazy expensive. Checking out DigiKam, they've got a big update, and it's even offering more ability, and it even has a thing which I didn't know that it offered this. You can click on, so say if we're at uh, a carnival, and
Mhm.
I take a picture of me and the wife, and I do
Mhm.
a little, selfie. I can click a button and blur out all the other faces with one click.
Mhm.
And you would just blur their face. Everything else would be clear. Which I thought, dang, I
Yeah.
never thought about editing a photo like that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so if you're a person that doesn't want to pay for Photoshop and it's high, Digicam may be something you want to check out. I'd never heard of it, but then I started reading.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
like,
heard of it.
man,
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've
I
had
mean,
it, you know?
yeah, oh, yeah, of course, yeah, you damn man.
No, 'cause
You got it all.
no, I have the app, and then I got a thing about a new update, and then I saw the ad, and I was like, "Oh, I guess we better talk about this one."
Hmm. I couldn't believe it said something about that bringing the number of supported raw cameras to
Yeah.
more than 1,100.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
oof. I mean,
yeah.
so if you're
For a
looking for some,
free app, you can't beat it.
yep, yeah. So definitely check that out, folks. Vivaldi, another. This is a browser, and I'm actually using Vivaldi on this right here.
Mhm.
Um, Vivaldi is a browser that I've been using more and more and more. I can't say I'm using it all the time. I still lean back to Firefox on because I used that for so long.
Mhm.
But there's all
I did
kinds of things that
also,
it,
but, I really needed to keep everything in one. I hate
yeah,
switching between browsers, you know? I really hate to do that. And I was a Firefox nut too, you know?
hmm
I love Firefox. I still do. I'll never knock the program. I'll never,
yeah, it's
you
gotten a little
know?
slower, and I
That's what
think that's
people
one.
have been saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just gotten a little bit slower, and so Vivaldi gives you some extra security options that you can turn
Yeah.
on and off easily. And I
Mhm.
do love this magnification, this little bar that
Oh,
you
yeah.
can. I
Well,
mean,
you don't even have to
um,
use the bar. You can do a control and scroll with your mouse, right? Your
no,
scroll button? Yeah, if you hit control and you can and you can use your scroll on your
Oh,
mouse.
all
Yeah,
right.
so it's
Okay.
faster than trying to go the other way.
All right. Neat.
Yeah.
Uh, One of the other features in this was talked about in here is open as a window, which I've never done this, but I'm gonna check
Mhm.
some of this out. So I'm gonna click this. Now, are you able to see my menu?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So then it says create a shortcut. And when I create a shortcut, I have it says create a shortcut has the name of it, and then we can click it and it
Mhm.
says open it as a window. I
Mhm.
can open that, and this opens it as it
Yeah.
not really being in a browser.
In
Now,
the browser, right? Opened in
it
a window.
probably hold on a second. It probably
Uh-huh.
is not sharing what I'm seeing.
Right.
Nope.
It's
So
not
hold
gonna.
on a second. I'll show
You're
you.
gonna have to
I'll show you
share
how it
that one.
changed. Yeah, I'll
Uh-huh.
show you how it changed. And which is
Mhm.
neat. Um,
Which is also like the WebK that they have also. They have a WebK that you can set to apps.
okay. Never seen that.
So
So this
that's
is
the
the tab
opened as a window.
opened as a window. Now you don't see
Yeah.
any you don't see the
Right.
URL that,
Uh-huh.
none of the other stuff. It's just
Mhm.
opened it. So you can actually save certain websites without having to actually open
Right.
the full browser. You just open it
Mhm.
as a window. So that was one of the things that Chrome had, and this article talks about that this especially the guy that wrote this article says that he does a lot of that, and he's got his these are his I guess his tab bookmarks, and he
Mhm.
can just click it and it opens it up directly. So that was a neat little thing. So definitely
Trying to
folks
find
need
the
to
thing
check out Vivaldi.
for the WebK. It does this WebK thing. Web panels. Um,
I never heard of WebK.
yeah, I have to find it for you. Let me just check the search real quick.
All right.
Uh, while
Okay.
you continue on.
But yeah, if you guys are wanting to check out, I'm telling you, we've talked about this browser a few times, and I wish that they were a paid sponsor for us because we've talked about them a few
Mhm.
times. We should. We should be. I should be a damn.
It's
Should be getting some
okay.
ads. I should be getting some money from these mugs.
Nah.
So, yeah, definitely a browser to check out. Lots of security, lots of things in it. Um, We'll go ahead and move on while you're looking for that.
Okay.
I'll jump over here
You
to
go.
the Netflix is giving away one of the best strategy games to its subscribers for free. So this is a game, and I'd never heard of it. Have you ever heard of Into the
I
Breach?
Into the breach. No.
Yeah, that's what it's called. So it's like almost looks like building, like you're building a town of some sort.
Yeah.
Came out in 2018, and it says it's one of the best Nintendo Switch games of all time. It has a Metacritic score of 89%. So coming soon, this is going to be on Apple as well as Android. You're going to be able to install this and play it for free. So if you're, a person that likes to have some different games on your phone, Into the Breach will be coming out if you have a Netflix account. You're going to be able to check that out and you'll be able to install it and play it. And I didn't think I saw a date on that. No. Yeah, I didn't see a date. I thought I had July 19th.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It's in the title.
Of course.
I'm looking, I'm looking. I was like, never mind. It's right there too. All right. So July 19th. So in about 11 days, you're going to be able to install this game. If you have a Netflix account, which is Into the Breach, you'll be able to install that free and to be able to play it. Let's see. Raspberry Pi introduces a $6 board with Wi-Fi, and most of us that have had a Raspberry Pi, it basically it can be made into a mini computer, a very inexpensive mini computer. And you buy the board; it will come with a slot to put your SD card using a micro SD card. So that's going to be your storage. And then you usually have to buy a little power plug, a power supply, or a case. But it's a really great little hobbyist. So if you're wanting to if you go look up Raspberry Pi and look at the things that you can make with it, there's hundreds and hundreds of them. Some people use it as a firewall or a VPN. I've heard of people using it as a inexpensive NAS. Um, heard of people using it I've used it for retro gaming, but they're coming out with this load. The Pico W is going to be $6, and for an additional $2, you'll get Wi-Fi connection. So great deal if you're looking. If you're one of those people that's a little bit of a hobbyist, you like to get something to tinker around with it. Keep an eye out for this Raspberry Pi, the Pico W or the Pico, yeah, Pico W. It's going to be coming out and might be something for you to get and to play around with. And these are Raspberry Pi. You can go and get like some of the other Raspberry Pis. I know, like I said, my for my gaming, I got the Raspberry Pi 4, and it was with the case and everything was like $60, $70, something like that. You can again use different operating systems on it. You can use it as a mini computer. Put hook a monitor to it, and I mean they're like this big, so you could hook a monitor, keyboard, mouse, and basically have a little bitty mini keyboard, or excuse me, a mini PC, and easily portable. Takes up very little space, so it'd be something to check out. And then my last topic, and that was the future is coming, folks. The future, the shit we see in the movies is coming. A smart contact lens where you're able to gaze into the metaverse like that, almost like the Google glasses. Remember they
Mhm.
came out with that a couple years back where you could put the
Yeah.
Google glasses and it could tell you. It would do the AR, not VR. It would do like AR, so you're
AR.
still able to see everything, but
Mhm.
then it would put highlights that, things on your glasses. And they actually have this, and it's a prototype. You can't go buy this yet, but prototype to where you're able to put this in as a contact. And we've seen this in movies, for
Mhm.
years, where
Yeah.
they put the contact and they're able to see, like looking at a little computer screen. Um, this is coming. I mean, so they've already kind of come out with this. It's not functional, as in people can't wear it because it's still got problems with your eyes becoming dry, and you can only wear it in one eye. But this can be done now, and the future is racing towards us with this.
Yeah.
Having a little bitty mini computer screen in your eye to where you're able to tell. I'm just thinking of how many space movies where we've seen that.
Yeah.
They
Quite a
stick
few.
the lens. So yeah, that's coming. So I don't know. I'm wondering. I mean, it sounds neat, but would you wear something like that? Would you put
Not
one of those
me,
things in
no,
your
because
eye?
I couldn't even stick contacts in my eyes. So I doubt if I could wear that. Not for me.
Hmm. I
Hey, listen,
it's scary.
I had the eye doctor put shots in my eyes. So,
Oh,
you know, since that day, there's nothing that's going in my eyes. I don't want that in them, okay?
so let's see. It's looking look at some
The
beam me
one,
up.
yeah, the one that was above that one that we just did.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry.
Let
Okay.
me let me put somebody. I had put him in timeout. That
Okay.
that splotchy that
Okay.
swatchy. I got rid of swatchy. Okay.
Okay.
So it's time. Is it you got
No, no,
your
no.
yeah.
Before you do
What?
that,
Oh,
back at the banners, the
the
one above the
banners.
one with the banners on the right, the one that above the smart contact lens, the one that was above it. We didn't
Oh,
talk
why
about
didn't I
that
put
one.
this in there? Yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't save it as I was gonna talk about it, but I didn't save it as a
Okay.
tab. Hold on. Let me
Okay.
grab
The link for it.
I got it. I got it.
You got it. Okay. Good.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't
That's why I'm here.
keeping my ass straight. Atari is 50 years old.
Woohoo!
Isn't that
We're
crazy?
getting old. We're getting old, man.
I mean,
You
I
you
remember
remember
the
the
2600.
commercials
I
with
remember
so do I. You remember the
hell yeah.
commercials with the guys from Nash? That's like one of
Yeah.
the reasons why I love that show so much because they promoted Atari back in the day. I love them for it.
Now
I was
Atari
a
has
big Atari guy.
Atari had great heyday with the 2600 and the
Mhm.
5200, of course, but then they had the 7200,
Yep, and
lost some
800.
steam, and they
I
had
had
the
an 800,
Jaguar,
and a
the
400 and
Jag,
400
uh,
800.
the Jaguar and the Linux system. Jaguar was I think their disk system that it did okay. It didn't really do
Mhm.
great. And then the
Right.
Linux was a large, like almost like a switch. It was kind of big, and it was a portable thing.
Mm.
Again, they were setting new territory, and they were doing new things all the time. And again, how companies do, things got past them. But if you look up, there's a show, and I can't remember the movie that talked about. It was a documentary about Atari and why Atari failed.
Yeah. Yeah,
And it was they were like
have it.
they were the golden child there in
Mhm.
the late 70s, early 80s. They couldn't do nothing wrong with
Mm.
this. They were the first company that did that laid back atmosphere, or that laid back working environment
Mhm. Yeah.
where you could wear whatever you wanted to. They
Mhm.
what's that? You could do whatever you had all kinds of crazy things. They had parties, and they would, if you watch the documentary, some crazy parties, and they were doing things that we see here a lot of the tech companies doing now. They were the
That
first
was the
company to
name of
do.
it, Atari Game Over. That was
Oh,
the name
game
of
over.
the,
Thank you, thank you.
thanks, OTA.
Yeah, watch that. That is a really good
Yeah.
documentary to show you how the rise of them, and then how the creator of Atari, he was just kind of crazy. He was he was kind of crazy. Is the best way I could put it. And sometimes his what he was wanting to do wasn't practical, and ended up hurting the company. But definitely a good movie to watch, or a documentary to understand the history of gaming. But they're going to release 90 games this fall into, I believe, into a one download, so you'll be able to play all kinds of their old stuff. And it's going to be released, and it's going to cost about $40. It's going to be available on the Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC, as well as the Atari VCS. If
Yep.
you take a look at the Atari VCS, I would love to take one of those. Now, this was the Atari VCS. And I'm going down the rabbit hole for a second. Atari
Mm.
VCS is a system that
The
came out
controller.
last couple years ago,
Yeah.
but it came out with one controller, and it was high. It was like 400 or 500 bucks for the thing. It was higher than what you would expect,
Yeah.
but it also allowed you to do dual boot. You could actually boot into different OSs, and that was part of what they wanted you to be able to play the Atari VCS, as well as boot into something else if you're wanting to do something else. So I was thinking this is going to be the modders, or the emulators device, but the
Mhm.
price was set so high that a lot of people are like, well, why am I going to invest in that? And I got to buy an extra controller, and it just is not taking off. But so it's going to be out on the Atari 50 anniversary celebration. Will be at $40. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC, and the Atari VCS. Let me see if this will pull it up. Yeah, here it is. So here we
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So yeah, here it is. $400.
Wow.
$400 for it. And then so it to me it was a little bit too high a price for what you got
Mhm.
in the games.
Yeah.
And then their library is not the
Yeah, that
library of a
big.
PlayStation or an Xbox. It's
Mhm.
just, you don't have that library. So but again, it was a neat idea, especially with being able to do dual boot. Let's see, here it comes. It can run most modern desktop operating systems, including Windows, Linux, Chrome OS. Comes with Google's Chrome browser built in.
Mm.
So to me, it's like a little mini PC, but they they
Yeah.
they just didn't promote it well enough. That was late to hitting the market from when they announced it, and I think it's an ugly case. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it looks like
But
the
it's the
old
colors
Atari.
of the old 2600, you know?
Yeah, but it's ain't 1978 no more. I
Yeah,
mean,
I know, but, if you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna be nostalgic, because the kids aren't gonna understand what that is, you
mm,
know? Yeah, if you had that sitting, on a shelf somewhere in your house,
Mhm.
you would understand it. And people of our
Yeah.
age came over and saw it. They'd be like, "Holy crap, what is this?" You know?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And, well, and see, Heroes, it took 3 years. It said 3 years from its, original announcement before you're
Mhm.
able to finally buy this thing.
Right.
So, you can't announce something like that and wait that long. But, I definitely love the idea of being able to do dual booting
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But again, peripherals are a little bit too expensive.
Yeah.
The game
But
library
I,
is
I
not
just
big.
wonder if those peripherals are made better than they were back in the day. Because how
Ah,
many Atari joysticks did you go through? You know what I
a
mean?
few, but I didn't go through that many because I didn't throw it. I mean, but
No,
yeah,
I
I was
didn't
a little
throw it,
hard
but
on the
but it was you would be hard on them. Sure, they were
yeah,
just like plastic, and
yeah. 'Cause we're
you
wanting to
had to
turn
you
left
had to open
harder.
them up. Right, you had to open them up and put more tape on the inside to get that connection better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
Mm,
all right.
yeah, well,
So, all
okay,
right. So, listen, well, it's our time for you to.
it's that time, I guess. All right.
Uh-oh. Let's see. Which one are we gonna do here? All right. Welcome to
All
Aubyns
right.
Sights of the Week. We're gonna
All
start
right.
with that.
Which
Will
one?
robots take my job?
Okay, yeah, well, robots take my job. Listen, I'm trying to remember now everything because this is I've had these sitting around since we didn't have a show last week. I got to remember these
Yeah.
sites. But
Did
this
y'all
one
hear
here
that?
is if a robot's going to take your job. So it shows you the most search that is down there. If you just want to grab one of those, just
All right. What
you know,
about
just
Butcher?
click. Okay, yeah, try Butcher.
Let's do
I
this.
don't
Click
know if
that.
it's going to be in there
I
for
don't know.
you, but
All right.
okay.
So, Butcher meat cutters, automation risk 93%.
Okay. 93% for a meat cutter?
That's
How the
yeah.
hell is
Automate.
that? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When you think about like someone's got to load the meat in that grinder, in the slicer.
But if
Let
they can
al-
automate that stuff and like, so say when cuts come down,
yeah.
they could get it to where it just cuts, 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 cuts. When I was at with one company I was at, they actually did where they were cutting all the kind of like Walmart does, where it's cut somewhere else and then
Sure.
they package it
Right.
and send it to the
They
store.
package it elsewhere.
They were talking about that they had machines that could do like the cutting, like cutting the steaks.
Hmm.
Downside of that is sometimes those
More waste.
primals, well, the primals not are not always exactly the same.
Right.
Um, so it could sometimes, and so if you're a meat cutter, you can sometimes change the
Hmm.
angle of your cutting
Right.
to cut it correctly to get the
Hmm.
most money out
Off
of
of
it,
that.
as well
Right.
as making sure you're getting the right grain on it. Whereas the
Right.
machine, when it goes in there, it's going to cut the
It's
same
just
way.
gonna. But a lot of those machines, like, because I've watched a lot of those do like for fishing. You know how they these ships go out and they have the whole kit and caboodle on the ship that they process all of the fish or the crabs or whatever,
Yep, yep.
and they have computers that sit there and they'll read the fish first and before they say which way it's going to be cut. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I guess they could, do the same thing with a cow and say, okay, well, the size of the cow is XYZ, and it knows by the weight it knows different things.
Hmm. Yeah,
You never know. You never know. I guess they could, because what all they have to do is just split it down the middle first,
yeah.
before they start really doing stuff with it.
All right, I'm gonna do a lawyer.
Okay.
Where to? So on this one, it's showing the automation risk as pretty low, only 5% chance of that.
Wow,
So
because
I'm
you
guessing,
you can't use a robot, I guess, to talk to a judge.
yeah. So I guess the 7.9 would mean your job, the chances of you keeping that job
Yeah,
is pretty good, right?
yeah, yeah. 7.9 out of 10 job score. Yeah.
All right. So let's what do you do? Accountants?
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, an accountant,
That
50%
someone
chance.
Nuggy wants you to put down a sandwich maker.
You need a wife?
Yeah.
I don't know if sandwich maker is gonna be
Yeah,
on. I'm
hey,
gonna
let's try wife, you know?
baker, short order cook. All right, let's do a. I'm just we'll do for jokes. Wife. It's not in there. All right.
Not in there, huh?
I'm trying to think of what's another. Cashier.
Okay. Well,
That's gonna be high. That's gonna be high because they're already doing all that.
they're not doing nothing now anyhow.
Look at that. Look at that. The risk on that.
Let's see,
89%. Because how many
89%.
people you're already
They're not
checking?
doing right,
Yeah,
they're
you're
not
already
doing that.
checking out.
They don't right. They don't I got so pissed off the other day. You know, you go in there and it's like here in New York, they don't even want to even touch a bag. Okay? You know, they're not going to help you at all for nothing. And it's just ridiculous. They just ring the stuff up, throw it there on the side and look at you, you know?
Hmm.
Insane.
All right, let me see. Let me see. You think of a YouTuber?
Yeah.
Um, all right. So, well, if you're curious, if you're wanting to know if your job is at risk, you may want to take a look. If you're doing a job and you're wondering, are the robots going to take my job?
Will
You may want to
robots
check into
take
that.
my job.com.
Robots take my job. Damn robots.
Mhm.
I was going to do one more. Hmm. Okay. So, all right.
All right.
You want a high number to prove that you're not going to lose your job. All right.
Yeah.
The next one is Remotive.
Yeah.
Remotive.com.
All right. Now this one, I'm waiting for it to pop up on my TV so I can see it. Oh, yes. This one is for because I know that a lot of people. It's summertime now. That a lot of people are not working, like you. And if you're
Yeah, I
looking
was
for
waiting
remote
on that
work,
one. Thanks.
yeah,
Thanks.
well, hey, you're free now, and I know you're still looking to keep busy. I figured, okay, you could,
I'm
find some
glad.
remote work.
I'm glad
And I,
somebody's else not listening. Glad somebody
uh,
else isn't on our show. Should be
uh,
like,
yeah. Oh, I can have him do this, that, or the other thing. No, I figured it's remote work because I know a lot of people have been looking for remote work to do,
mhm.
and this is a good site to you know uh, find stuff that you can do from home on the computer. I figured that would be a good one to check out.
All right. So you're looking remotive.com
Yeah.
to be able to work home. All right. And our
Okay.
last one here
Yeah.
is the platform, the about the
Um,
satellites. We talked about
yeah,
SpaceX
we
just
talked about
earlier.
satellites before. Yeah, and I know we talked with Blue before about how much junk there is up there in space, and this is just a great way to see all of that junk that's out there. And if anyone is interested in looking at some of this, it's a great site to use. So it's just more useless knowledge that I try to find for people. Just Moises put up a check a truck driver. So we should have tried that as the thing before for the that other will
All right.
robots
All right.
take the
All right.
job.
I'll check in just a
Yeah,
second.
yeah, we'll check that in a little bit for you, Moises. Um, yeah, but this
Look at
is a
here. The
great site.
red is
Yeah,
debris.
right. There's so much debris out there, and you can zoom into it, and you can like see where it's uh it gives you information about those. Can you zoom in if you like scroll with your mouse? Oh, yeah, and you see the stuff like moving around there, and you can select something. I believe something a tooltip pop up or something.
That's as close as I can get. I can.
No, but when
You
it
want me?
is some of the
You want me
debris
to
that's moving around.
Oh, you the debris. You want me to grab some debris?
Yeah, if you could look at the debris, and it lets you uh tell, like, I think it lets you tell how
Yeah.
long it's been up there or whatever. Yeah, gives information about it, which I thought was pretty wild.
Can we see it hit something?
No, well, because
Or
that's still so far up. It tells you how high up it is. It's wild, you know. Because I know that we've always all talked about, well, we got to do something with the trash that we have here, and being able to, put it in something and send it up to the sun would be great, wouldn't it?
yeah. So I can click on this particular satellite. There it's going.
And it should give you
So
information about it.
yeah, it's got information over here
Yeah,
where
yeah.
where I've selected it.
Hmm.
Here's another one. Rocket body, payload. All right, so those are just it's just junk floating around.
Yeah.
Payload. So the yellow ones are just debris. So what's all this? Look at Starlink. What the hell's that?
One of those satellites, maybe the Starlink satellites.
Look at the
Yeah, right. That crazy or what?
wow. Aubyns showing us all kinds of crazy shit. I don't know.
Hey, you, you know me. More data is better. You know.
Too close to the earth. I can't.
Yeah.
There we go. I was like, where's the
Hmm.
so yeah, lots of junk floating around.
That's
This
a
is
junk.
just the
Yeah.
debris.
Yeah.
Can we just sweep that up?
Yeah. I wish. I wish. Yeah, that's why it's so hard to,
Look,
even for them to get a flight out, out into space. Think about them trying to have to go around all that stuff.
well, what's interesting is a lot of them have only been there for like
Hmm.
an hour or two.
Right.
Because look at
So it
it,
falls.
a
Right.
minute and
Yeah.
40. So I mean, a minute or not a minute and 40,
I wonder if
108
that.
minutes,
Okay. So I'm
109
wondering,
minutes,
like,
118 minutes.
if that's junk that falls off of a plane. Like, say, like when a plane
Rocket.
is flying, when a plane flies and it has to dump the shit off of a plane. You know what I mean? The shit from a flight, because they normally dump that before it lands. It's like a solid ice thing. That will come crashing into the ocean somewhere. I think there's a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. Well, that's disturbing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey. All right. So we'll robot truck driver. What was that we were gonna
Yeah.
look for?
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking heavy tractor trailer drivers. I guess that was what I would think, right?
Okay. Yeah. So I would imagine maybe.
87% risk.
Wow. Those new driver things are
Google
gonna.
driving trucks.
Well, yeah, because I know that they're
The
been
Tesla
working
trucks.
on they've been, yeah, they've been doing those Tesla type truck things. That they have it out there, and they're fighting it. I saw the big special on 60 Minutes, uh, uh, like maybe 2 months ago or so.
Says this occupation has been voted 66% by our
Mhm.
users to be fully automated within the next 2 decades.
Wow, wow, that's insane.
That's 20 years.
Yep, man.
Now that's voted though. I mean that's
Hmm.
people's choices,
Right,
thoughts. Um,
but it's already here almost. Really, it really is.
and I
Because
do
the
know in
money it saves these guys from, having to put somebody in a truck, and they got a truck that can run all night long and not have to worry about, a driver falling asleep, and it's just the truck is on just making calculations all day long.
Yeah.
to see what's around it.
Yeah. Well, let me
It's
see.
not going to get no tickets because it's gonna always do the speed limit.
What happens when someone takes it over? With a
Uh,
computer.
Well, yeah, there's that also, but it hasn't happened yet, but all it takes is
Seen
just to,
movies. I've seen movies where they do it.
listen, I got a special box too here at home that I use for other things, and that I know would be able to get through it. You know, I'd stop that bad boy. Hey, be better than the airport.
All right. Let's see. All right. So that was Aubyns sights
Sights of the
of
week.
the week. All right.
All
So
right.
those were the sights of the week.
Okay.
Thank you, Auburn.
Before that, we had this
Yep.
other thing here about the Shield update that was that last
Oh
week.
shit! I forgot to
You
save
you know,
that. All right. So
of course you did, but we got time
I
real quick.
forgot. Yeah. I mean, so the Shield updated this week. Let me go down here. I forgot to save the tab.
Uh, well, there's another thing I'm gonna have to show you in Vivaldi that lets you like
Damn,
start
Vivaldi.
saving all these other all your tabs, and then you can just open them up at another time.
Okay, Shield update, blah 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 blah, and that is it upgraded to 9.1. Had a lot of bug fixes. It also did the ads night listening mode, to
Yeah.
where it would kind of pull the volume down a little bit and making sure that the crash scenes or the gunfire scenes would not jack up real high if somebody else is in the house. So it added a called night listening mode. That was one of them. It also has a low latency game mode where you're able to go if you're wanting to do some gaming and you're wanting to have the best connection. It actually has a setting now that you can. I think you can turn it on. Should be in the settings. I haven't messed around with that. Um, but it also there has been some problem that where I've heard people complaining about the CECs, like, so if they were using other remotes, that sometimes the newest update had some issues with that, or being able to control their TV uh, with that. Some people have had issues. On my TV, I have not, but when I've been reading the forums and stuff, I've seen where people have complained about the CEC function not working as well on the 9.1. But yeah, it's out, pushed out there. I haven't heard any major issues other than that CEC that people complained about. The other thing, and I
Yeah.
saw it, and I don't know what
It
people are
worked
talking
great for
about.
me.
I saw a thing where someone was posting that there was an issue, and again, I'm reading from Reddit, Twitter, Facebook groups, forums, and I saw a couple people complained about some of their subscription apps not opening, like the Netflix or their Amazon Prime not opening.
Mm.
I don't know. I haven't experienced that.
Try it.
We have both of them, and I've used
Okay.
it and not had any issues with those. So, um, you know, so if you have a
Okay.
Shield,
Hmm.
I haven't heard of any major problems with it. So, and
No,
so
it
hopefully
cleaned
they're
up. It
fixing.
cleared up a lot of different things for me,
Yeah.
like any of the black screens when you're in your IPTV switching
Hmm.
channels.
Hmm.
Don't get any of that now. It just flips right to the next channel. Real good.
Nice.
Yeah. Back to the way it used to be. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when they went to that Android 11, that just
Yeah.
created some problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see other
Uh,
enhancements, security patch, which is whatever. Um, if you have the 2019 remote, adds option to only wake the Shield with the power
do you
or
want
the
to share
Netflix
that
buttons.
screen or not?
No,
No
it's
need.
only
No
a
need.
couple
Okay,
things.
you're all
Just a
done
couple
anyhow,
things.
right?
So yeah. So one of the things is before, if you hit any button on your remote, it would wake the Shield and wake up your TV. So if you, I'm sure it says it's an option, so I bet it's a switch you can turn on and off in your settings.
Mhm.
if you have it turned on, you have to hit the power or the Netflix button to turn on the shield to wake up the shield. And so that would help if, like, say, if you were a person that you weren't using your shield. Let's say that you were using your Xbox. You're playing your Xbox, but the shield remote's on the couch and you bump into it. Sometimes my TV will jump to that HDMI.
Right.
So if you had that setting turned on, you would have to hit the power or the Netflix button, not just any button on it. So,
Right. Right.
um, so it added that for the remote and the controller. Adds the option to match PCM audio with Dolby reference volume levels. So another thing for matching the PCM audio.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you're looking, you know, wondering if it's safe,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't
Go
heard.
for it.
I mean, again, very few issues,
Mhm.
um, and so I think they're very isolated. Is
Yeah.
there anything else that I'm forgetting to bring
Uh,
up to
the
mention?
No, I think that we got everything. Yeah, I think we got everything. Oh, I would have. I saw you pulled it out, but that was that article about the that couple that was buying a house
Yeah,
and
I
with the
saw that.
internet. If you
Yep,
wanted to
yep.
talk about, but it's not it today.
Well, that's nah, I mean, that is an issue where if and this is I've heard about this. If
Hmm.
you're especially if you're in an area, once they lay the cable lines, and let's say they don't run it to your house, or let's say you live on a long driveway. Now, it doesn't happen so much for you, you're in the city, but when I lived in the country,
Yeah.
let's say you live on a long driveway, you'd have to
Hmm.
pay to get them to come out there. And so what happened is there was an article that you
No,
found
but there
that
were two different ones. Go ahead and you talk
oh,
about which one you're thinking of,
because
and I'll
that
tell you
one
what
was
happened with the other one.
people moved into the house. The cable was already established to all the houses, but not their house. And the cable company says, "Oh, if you want us to run that, we're going to have to come and bring a crew out there, dig a line all the way out there." And it was what, 20,000,
Twenty-seven
$27,000
thousand they wanted.
to put that cable line. So they would be a Starlink customer.
But they
See,
weren't.
well,
Yeah,
they should be.
there should be a Starlink customer. But what the other article was talking about was that uh, these people wanted to have the internet.
Yeah.
It's like, let's say for example, it was everyone already had Verizon, and they were going to charge them X amount to have it pulled in, and the town said, no, we're not allowing another cable company to come in here. That's what's messed up, because another cable company was willing to come in and do it, and the town says, no, we're not allowing any other cable company here into this area. That's
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's hurts
Yeah.
everybody. You got to
It does.
competition is
It
good.
does. Really, they how hard could it be to pull a line? You know what I mean? I can understand, okay, if it were a huge distance, but you're talking from one house to another. How are you going to sit there and tell someone $27,000? You just bought a new house, and you're going to tell them you need that much money just to get a line pulled into your house, and that's just pulling a line up. And that's not
Yeah.
saying that they're rewiring your house for it. How can you do that to someone that needs internet?
Redneck's got a good point. Someone
Yeah.
got paid off for that town getting blocked
Hmm.
off.
Oh yeah, to lock it up like that.
Yeah, that's
That's for
exactly right.
sure.
Somebody asked me, Niall asked me this question. I looked it up while Auburn was talking. And a police officer, there's a 12% risk of it going
Wow.
automation because you got. I mean, I guess if we get back to RoboCop and we can get them, you know, stop, cease, and desist.
Just yep.
They can bounce, but I don't think we're at that point yet. So
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll
that's
be
not going to
getting
happen.
there. We'll be getting there.
Jim brought up the idea of going to see Thor tomorrow. I would
Mhm.
like to see Thor. We'll see. That is a movie that we may go see. That's very likely, but it hasn't came up. We haven't set to go see it, but I would like to see it. I've heard Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a 70%. But sometimes Rotten Tomatoes is a little bit. Sometimes their ratings are a little bit
Hmm.
suspect.
Yeah.
No. Let's see. So, all right. So, what are
Yeah.
the events going on this weekend?
Okay. Well, before that, we want to
Yeah.
talk about Player Pass. We're on vacation.
Yes. There. Thank
So
you.
just wanted to let people know if you try hitting us up on a Wednesday and you don't see us, that's why. We're taking the summer off for a little bit. We're taking a break. I'm working on my tan. Todd's gonna try to catch up with me with
Getting
his.
mine. Yeah. I got a ways to go.
Oh, real ways to go,
Uh,
and we'll see if we reverse itself by the time spring is here. I mean
I'd
fall
have
is
to
here.
visit the fucking sun to get. So, let's see. I do like beaches. They'll comment here that I'm gonna buy 600 miles of Cat 8 cable, plug into Aubyns damn internet because he's got them, and then run it
Yeah.
over there to. He's gonna run
Hey,
it over there to
two,
Virginia.
2.0 now. 2.0.
Jesus. All right. All right. So we're on vacation for the summer.
Yep.
So we're taking
Okay.
taking the summer off. We'll let you guys know when we get closer to.
Right.
Friday night show. We'll probably still have a Friday night show unless I'm a lazy ass and I want to do a show. But no, but we'll probably still do a show on Fridays. We'll
Okay.
see. As long as if we got topics to talk about. Sometimes when we don't have a lot of topics, it's kind of, I
Hmm.
don't know, kind of feels funny to talk about nothing. But if you have
Yeah.
topics, or if you have an add-on, or if you got something you want us to
Yeah. Yeah.
share
Hit
with
us up.
people, hit me up.
Hmm.
Go ahead now. What was our events for the weekend?
Okay. We have Babylon MMA. That's out of Poland. That was today. I
That would
think
have been
that it's
already,
gonna be.
right?
It would have been already, but I think for some reason I think it's going on tonight. Think it's like
Oh,
one of those that they replay like after 8 p.m. or so.
okay.
We have Fury FC 66. That's tonight at 8 p.m.
Hmm.
On pay-per-view. Uh, LFA is back. That started at 5:30 today, so that still might be going on now. It's in Arizona. Um, but no, actually, it might be 'cause that might be 5:30 time there. So what be 8:30 in New York Eastern time.
Hmm.
So that'd be tonight. Tomorrow we have UFC Fight Night. Dos Anjos versus Fizev at 9 p.m. and 6 o'clock for the prelims. That's in Las Vegas also.
If you have
And
a
then
VR equipment now, VR, are we planning on running that tomorrow night?
I would hope so.
Okay.
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully
In
we'll
big
we'll
screen?
we'll run that in big screen.
Okay.
And then also tomorrow is at 2 p.m. is more fights out of Poland. The Prime Show MMA. It's
Okay.
supposed to be pretty crazy. These Polish guys over there, they just don't play. I watched this stuff. What was it? Week before last.
Mhm.
Man. Some incredible fights. So keep your eyes open. That's it for this weekend of fights.
'Kay.
I don't think there's anything else. I don't know. Well, Wimbledon is going on. We got
Yep.
what else is going on? Hockey's over.
Hockey's over. Looks like the Brooklyn Nets are being tore apart. So we're gonna see where that goes. You seen,
Uh-huh.
um, KD wants out, and they may. We'll see what happens with the Kyrie. They may put him in there, but then there's still talk that Kyrie may be sent somewhere else. So Nets may, where we looked at Nets 2 years ago, we said
Hmm.
Nets were locks to being in the
Hmm.
NBA playoffs, and they haven't
Right.
made it
No.
to
Nope.
the championship game. We said they would be playing the championship game for the East
Hmm.
Coast, um, and they have not did that. So KD wants out, and I don't know. Kyrie Irving he's a super talented player,
Hmm.
but it's just drama. He's just drama. He's, they were showing a chart on how much he's played in the last 3 years, and he's missed over 22 games, more than 22 games each year. And you're paying this guy,
Right,
fucking $30
what is
million
it?
dollars.
What is he
Care.
injured or something, or is he
No.
just
Well,
home
there
pulling his
were
prick?
some injuries. There were some injuries year before last.
Hmm.
Was it the year before last? But this year it was because he wouldn't get a COVID shot, so he couldn't play at all in Canada or any time that they played at home. Because remember, New
Oh
York had
man,
the law, had the
now
rule that
now,
he wouldn't even play. So he got no home games this year.
but why still pay him? You know what I'm saying? Really, you know, I
I'm
don't
sorry, I don't
understand
have
that.
any
I
sympathy.
I
No
I
sympathy.
just don't
No sympathy
understand
for him.
that.
Yeah, I have no. I mean,
Because
when
you're holding back the whole rest of the team.
yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and to me, he's not getting paid $20 an hour or $15
right,
an hour.
right.
Well, getting paid,
You know,
25, $30 million a year. 20, 20 to $30 million.
million.
And you're like, I think I can't play here because I'm not good.
Hmm.
I understand about his own right, but no, 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 like you
Yeah.
said, no, you only get
Hmm.
half your check then.
Right.
That's
Yeah, you didn't
that.
play. If the contract states, okay, well, if you got injured, okay, we're gonna pay you. But if said I'm gonna stay home and pull my prick all day, and I'm not gonna work, then why should I pay you? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I just it cracks me up when you get these teams and I've never like again I've never been a Kyrie fan even before all the COVID stuff because it just seemed
Uh-huh.
like he was always drama
Hmm.
and because he was such a great player when you see him play. There's times that he
Yeah.
really looks great. And
Hmm.
it's like, what the hell is he doing? And I watch him play, and then you hear all those other theatrics. There was a time where, I need some mental health days or whatever. And he took like a couple weeks off because he needed some mental health. Then there was where he went and
Uh.
he went to a party and then couldn't play because he'd been exposed to other people. Remember that was right at the beginning of
Hmm.
COVID, and the whole when they did the bubble thing, he was a
Hmm.
issue with that. So no, no,
Man.
none of us that's watching this
Nope.
show and none of us is
Hmm.
in the side chat. If you don't work, you don't get paid.
Hmm.
That's what gets me is like
Man.
it's equal. We should be equal on this. You don't work, you don't get paid. So your contract is $20 million and you didn't play but half the games, well, you only get 10 million.
Hmm.
I bet you his ass would have rethought that when he and you think of would if he didn't if you don't play half the games, if he would have played all the games at home, would his
Hmm.
team had a better chance to move forward in the playoffs?
Right.
Of course they would have. He would have been
Hmm.
more of a team and not that I'm gonna play tonight and then I don't play for 2 nights and then I'm gonna play again because we're gonna be in California. So
Hey, what's
I
up,
don't know.
Skull?
Hey bud. Hey bud. So yeah. So that's all for that. It's just
Yeah.
find it kind of funny and I'm interested. The Carolina Panthers have got Baker Mayfield. So but they got him on it was like a discount because I think the Panthers are only paying $4.9 million of his contract, and the Cleveland Browns are paying 11 million or 12 million of his contract for this year. So basically, the Panthers said, we're basically getting him on a discount. Maybe he does well, doesn't, but
Hmm.
you're going to pay another quarterback that easily.
Yeah.
So take a chance. And I think they gave up 1/5 round pick next year.
Mhm.
One.
Man.
So
Ridiculous.
hopefully, I mean, I've never been a Baker Mayfield fan. I mean, nothing against him. Hopefully, he does well playing at the Panthers. But and then you look at the Cleveland Browns. Is Deshaun Watson even going to play? Because that's all still up in the air. So Cleveland lets their quarterback go and may not even get it. Yeah, you keep waiting. I'm waiting for mine to kick in too.
Me three.
Yeah, we got several of us that are waiting on that. I'll have
Yeah.
to hit. So all right, so that's all we got, bud. We need to go ahead
Yeah.
and eat some dinner and move on.
Yeah, I
So,
need to eat. I want to start watching the fights, and that's about it. I'm sorry, people. I'm not doing an after show tonight. I'm
All right.
I'm kind of wiped out. I'm gonna, sit back, eat because I had been buying a whole bunch of special cold cuts from the Italian butcher. Oh, I got some super salad that's just, knock you off your feet. Oh,
Yeah, well,
can't wait to get to it tonight.
you get to that, and hey, and then we'll just figure out our time. We're gonna meet sometime when I head down south. So
Yeah, yeah,
meet up, and we'll get some pictures.
yeah,
So
yeah,
looking forward to
definitely.
that.
Yeah. Mm,
So that's all for us. Thank you, Auburn,
yeah.
for pulling stuff together. Thank
And
everyone for watching
anytime.
and hanging with us. We're still sitting at 41 people still watching us, so appreciate
Yeah.
everyone that hangs in with us and it puts up
Mhm.
with our babbling or
Yeah.
my babbling. And
I
we'll
don't
see
say
you
much.
guys. Yeah, down below, all the links are down below. So if you missed something, a topic, or you want to read more about any of the topics, they're down below, and you can get to those websites and see about it. So we'll see you guys on the next one. If streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you.